Have any changes or corrections to those? If not, do we have a motion to accept?
I gotta make a motion to accept the minutes as
Have a
written.
second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Oh, I shouldn't have voted because I wasn't here.
I wasn't either.
Next item on the agenda is reorganization.
Even I like
I
that.
am declining an officer for next year, so do we have a motion for a chairperson?
Mr. Chairman, I'll nominate Neil Almond as chairman of the BZA for the year 2022.
I'll second.
Do we have a second? All those in favor? Motion carries. You move over to the chair spot right there.
I didn't think it started yet.
Please.
You done, Mike?
Now, you continue with the rest of the reorganization.
Okay. I suppose next we'll need a nomination for vice chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'll nominate David Sadler to be the vice chairman of the
Wait,
BZA 2022.
I have a nomination for Dave Sadler as vice chairman of BZA 2022. Is there a second? I'll second. All in favor? And we don't do a secretary, do we?
I'll do a secretary. I'll nominate Charles McGuire.
We have a nomination for secretary 2022, Charles McGuire.
I'll second.
And we have a second. All in favor? I believe that's it for the reorganization for 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is a variance request at East State Road 144. Are you folks here? Could you come up and state your name and tell us a little about your project, please?
Kevin Kissinger. What else did you need?
If you'd like to tell us about your project, or
Oh, yeah. I'm just wanting to build a garage because this home don't have a garage. And I've sent out all the public notices and everything, the cards and all that stuff. I sent all that out. Yeah, it's going to be a 20 by
19 by 50.
Yeah, 20 by 50, and it's going to be just offset from the property line 1 foot because I got to be off the house 3 foot. So that's the variance is so I can build the garage within the foot of the property line.
to keep it at the 20 foot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments about this variance request from the audience?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Wait, go through the board first.
I just want to go to the board first.
Ask questions from the commission first. Oh, you already asked that? Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, if anyone in the audience has a question, I'll ask the board with any comments or questions from the board.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Have you done a survey to establish the property line on that side?
On a stake survey, we've tried to get them out there, and they're saying 3 to 4 months, anyone to come out and give us a survey on it. And, yeah, we went through the plot, we found the stakes and the plot plan from Martinsville. They sent it to us, and then I measured off from the stakes, which is going to put me right at a foot off the property line on the east side.
And the property owner next to you?
The property owner next to me, well, I sent him a letter as well, and he sent the card back. I talked to him, he was okay with it.
How many letters did you send out for properties around you?
15 total. And then we ran the public notice in the newspaper.
Good.
Yeah. How many cards?
I think we got 9 back. We got 1 card back today.
Yeah. We got this one back today. And then we got 9 others, I believe it was.
Have you turned those in?
Yes.
They're here.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I need to cross-reference them? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What's the reason for a 20-foot wide building versus a 16-foot wide and maybe longer than the 50-foot?
Well, I was wanting to do a 24 by 36, but it would have put me over the property line, so I dropped it down 4 feet. The 20-foot is just, to have extra storage, and then the 50-foot deep.
How deep does that lot go?
Oh, that puts me 20 feet off of the
Back
rear
pro-
property line. And on one side, because the property goes in an angle, it puts me about 28 feet off on the other corner of the garage. So I'm within the code on the back side.
So you could build that without a variance if you would build a narrower building and extend to 50 foot and still have the same square footage.
No. If I came narrower, if I came to within ordinance of the plan to 10 feet, then it would be a 10-foot wide garage and 50-foot deep.
Okay.
So.
Well,
that's
I'm not saying 10, but never mind. I was trying to go less than the 1 foot setback.
I got you. I know, I was thinking about tying it to the house and then getting off the 1 foot, but then I would lose my lighting on that end of the house, and I just didn't want to tie it into the house and close off the windows on that one end of the house. I was trying to keep from
So if you
that.
build that, you're not going to have any access to the backyard.
Yes, it'd be access to the backyard, because I'll have a 3-foot walkway between the garage and the house. So I'll have a gate there so I can walk through and get to the backyard. And then I'll have a door right there too, to come in and out of the garage door, just a service door.
So you got 3 foot there and you're going to put a 2 foot sidewalk.
Won't put a 3-foot sidewalk.
All right.
Won't put a 3-foot sidewalk.
I was mistaken. I thought it said 2 foot on the print.
That's what it says.
What does it say?
It should have
It says 2 on here.
It says 2 in the drawing, yeah.
Okay, 2-foot sidewalk, yes.
That's pretty narrow passageway.
Yeah. See, if I go to 3-foot, then I'll have to downsize my garage from a 20 to a 19. If I do a 19, then
Want to
I'll have to
go?
put
You want to go in increments, not odd, for save lumber cut off.
yeah,
You could go a 16.
but then I'm going down to an 8-foot door or less, because you have to have 4 foot on each side for the 4x8 sheet of plywood on the corners. See?
Got an email here from, I guess it'd be the neighbors to the north.
Be the one to the west.
Kessinger? No, I'm sorry. This is from Jim Keller. Should I read that? Okay. Mr. Keller writes, my property sits next to Mr. Kessinger's property. I'm in full support of his request for the variance. He has only owned the property a short time, but has put a great deal of effort into correcting the storm drainage problems that the previous owner ignored. So he's on one side, and I see that the other side is the Adams home.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I see their receipt. I don't imagine they're here, but I do see they were.
Not here, but yeah, they had a major water issue out there when I moved in. The front yard looks like a lake, and I'm putting in just a dry creek bed through there and open that up so that the water will get on down and alleviate both neighbors' water going across my yard. So, and I'm doing that at my cost. It's not, I'm not charging them nothing or anything. It's helping both my neighbors out, you know.
Mr. Chairman, the only concern I have is the, not having an official, survey of the property to know exactly where that building line is. If there are any future problems, if he moves away or the next door neighbor moves away.
I think it's kind of pretty close to the property line.
Is he, from my understanding, Mr. Adams' grandfather built that house, and they split up the property. So that's, and then I found the stake out there, and then I measured over to Mr., what's his name, Miller? Yep.
Adams on one side and Keller's on the other.
Jim Keller's. I measured over the 105 feet, and it came right on his fence. So, I mean, I was able to pinpoint and found the lug out there on that side of Mr. Adams, on the property line that's in question. So I did find it, and I'm gonna be right at a foot off the line.
If it were me, I would want to get a survey before I took the chance and did anything.
So if we grant this variance and there's a problem later, you know, the location of the property line, that would be yours.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all in favor of that. I mean, and I'm not opposed to the survey. It's just that a survey, like I said, we've tried everybody and their brother, from Bloomington all the way up to Fishers, out to Greenfield, all the surveying companies, and they're like, we're 3 to 6 months out. And I'm like, well, you know, there's no way I can get on a list. We're not even taking a list. So all the surveying companies are busy. I don't know if it's because of the highway or what, but I just can't get no one out there. If I wait until winter, then, you know, I'm going through another year.
I'm gonna have to ask a question. In Indiana, do they recognize professional engineers and their designs and layouts to in fact be the same as a registered land surveyor? They do not? Okay. Some states do it. Okay.
Are there any further questions or comments from the board? I'll look for a motion for the variance request then.
Could I make a comment for him?
Yes, sir,
on his
absolutely.
behalf? If we take a vote tonight and it doesn't pass, then you're 1 year away for coming back. If we don't take a vote, you ask for it to continue to get a survey, then you come back with a survey, and if it passes, you're okay. But and that's your choice tonight. Am I right, Cameron?
Sorry, it was a little far away. Yeah, I believe that's correct. And I would also mention that the board can impose any reasonable conditions that it sees fit in granting a variance. So you consider it in that light as well.
Make it contingent on the survey.
Yes.
Okay. I'd be willing to make a motion that'd be approved contingent on a survey being done on the property to establish an exact property line. And if it so deems that there is a foot or more based on the opinion of the registered land surveyor,
Thanks, John.
then I could approve.
If I could get a
then I would-
continuance.
Okay, we have a motion to approve with the condition that you have a recent survey. So,
No, he's going to withdraw that and ask for a continuance.
okay, should we follow through with the motion first?
I'm mean, can we get approval with the contingency of having the survey?
That's what the motion
Yeah,
is.
his motion says that the board would grant the variance, but only when you have in hand a survey of your property that you're gonna have a foot or more of room from the property line to your
Okay.
structure. So,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear correctly.
is that, you guys all understand that?
Sure.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve this variance request contingent on a, current
A survey by registered land surveyor.
survey and to make sure there's at least 1 foot of room between the new structure and your property line. So that's a motion that's up.
I'll second that.
We have a second. All in favor? None opposed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 3 on our agenda this evening is a rules and regulations discussion. I think Tammy emailed us all a copy of the.
We have reached out to Debbie Lazier, who wrote our UDO, who wrote the original rules and regulations. She is willing to work with the town again to update these, to get these on file. I can send out original copies if you don't already have them, either by email or mail. And if you guys would make notes on things that you see that stand out that we need to tweak, because this is a very general draft. It's not our town, our municipality specific. So if you see things that we need to add, things that we need to change, if you can get those notes to me, she would be more than willing to work on them, get us a more specific rough draft before she appears and becomes part of the conversation.
So is that based on what you emailed us, the PDF you emailed us last week?
Yes.
Okay, did you guys look at
Tammy,
that?
does this make sense? There are some things that are going to be the same on the planning commission as far as time allotted.
Yep.
Time, so I think the BZA members need to see the planning commission too, because those, I think, should follow the same timetables for amount of time a person gets to speak, the time the presenter gets to speak, time we're gonna.
I can make sure the board and the board and the plan commission both have the ability to see each other's rules and
Thank you.
regulations so that they can compare the two.
Thank you.
Tammy, would you send me a copy?
I can, yes.
I was gonna ask something, if I could. It lists 7 members in the BZA. Are we gonna expand the board, or?
I don't think so. Again, this is a rough draft that she presents to many municipalities. So there will be items that are specific to this town, how many members are on a board, what makes up that board, that she will automatically alter to fit our situation. So there are some very technical things that she will check off as she goes. It's more of procedurally, how long do you want a presentation to be? How late do you want meetings to go? Is there a list of, is there gonna be a maximum number of items on an agenda? Those types of specific things that a board would look for are the notes that she's wanting. Specifically, how we become and the technically law things she can take care of on her own.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? If the audience is interested, we're just talking about a new set of rules for the Board of Zoning Appeals. It'll cover things like the number of members and the minimum people we have to have at the meetings and that kind of thing. Also, the times, and the latest we'll hear a presentation or a petition. So it's kind of general stuff. Is that going to be available at the town if anybody wants to see it?
I'm sorry?
Will a copy of that be available in the office if anybody wants to see it?
I don't know that, I can leave a copy in the clerk's office, but with it being so general and it covering a wide variety of things that aren't specific, it would be available, but it wouldn't give you much information if we're gonna change so many things about it, or, update some things about it, but it will be available.
So in other words, get there early so you can see it. I'm sure there'll be a line. As we get closer to the final draft, we'll have one in the office. Okay. You guys okay with everything? Okay. Next on our agenda is any new or unfinished business. Okay, then I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Take a motion, ask for a motion.
I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
We did.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Thank you.
So if you guys want to be here till midnight, it's all right with me.
Good luck next week. I'll talk to you.